Hi, this is Anna Montejo. I am Publicity Chair of Newark Symphony Orchestra, and I'm so excited to have another one of our youth competition honorable mention winners. And I am here today with Nicolette, who will be performing this Sunday for our virtual concert on March 14th called Music Montage, and that'll be at 3 p.m. And so please, I'd like to introduce you to Nicolette.
Hello, my name is Nicolette, and I play the viola. I am currently 18. I currently attend Cap Cali School of the Arts as a 12th grader, and I'm 18 years old.
That's great. Nicolette, we were so happy that we have so many honorable mentions to participate in this concert. So your performance was really amazing. Could you, let's start at the beginning. I know in your bio you talked about you started on the violin, and then a few years later, and in fact, you started on violin at a very young age. I think you said 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then just a few years after that, you moved on to the viola. So, how about can you tell us how you did that switch and how you chose to you focus on the viola?
Focus on. Okay. Well, as you know, I started with violin when I was 4. My mother she played piano, and she really wanted me to learn how to play an instrument. I also back then, and I still now, of course, I really loved music, and I really wanted to play an instrument. So we just picked violin, and I really liked playing the violin. But when I turned 11, I was then in a Suzuki Academy. They had very few violists, and they gave me an opportunity just to try it out. Just say, hey, you want to try some viola so you could play with the viola group class?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this sounds pretty cool. I want to try out. So I borrowed a viola from my teacher, and it started off like sort of like like just to try out something new, like a little hobby. But then like I don't know how to quite explain it. It just like it felt like I really found my passion and like my voice for the first time, because like as soon as I started playing it, I just fell in love with its really warm quality, and it's very like it's just a very warm and very pure tone. And while the violin is really beautiful, I guess something about the viola and its alto voice just really enchanted me. So
Sure.
within I was playing both of them, but I realized like very quickly that I only thing I really wanted to do was play viola, and I caught myself practicing much more viola than violin. So I decided that I wanted to switch, and I wanted to also pursue a career in music as a violist.
Okay, all right. Nicolette, I can absolutely relate as far as kind of having that lower register in alto. I play oboe, the
Cool.
principal oboe player, but I very much enjoy the English horn, and so in that lower register, I absolutely, there's so many opportunities in some of the symphony writings where English horn and the viola are paired up for some really beautiful melodies. So I can relate with what you said and having that tone so I let's talk about this past year. You currently you're a senior at Cab Calloway, and so in this past year dealing with COVID, can you tell me what it's been like with your music studies and all, with your teacher, how you had to adapt, and then the different ensembles that you play in?
Mm-hmm. So let's see where to begin. For private lessons, I studied with Carrie Ryan, and I take private lessons through Zoom. So we just like set up Zoom meetings, and I would just play through the Zoom, and she just teach me through there. Occasionally, I might just send her a video of me playing so that she can hear me, like without the distorted Zoom quality, if you know what I mean. Just to like hear my dynamics and stuff, because Zoom often has trouble capturing dynamics and other smaller details like volumes. So that's
Right.
what I
Were you already doing Zoom with the teacher? Was that something you were already doing, or was that new with COVID?
knew with COVID. And occasionally, like when she's part of the Philly Orchestra, so she would go on tour. So occasionally she would, if she was on tour, give me a FaceTime or a Zoom lesson. But it's become a regular thing since COVID. And sorry for not specifying earlier.
I know, that's great. Well, what about some of the ensembles? Because you were probably busy going to different rehearsals, and I know on your bio a couple of groups in Philadelphia, right? Talk about those groups and how you had to adapt this past year.
Okay. So one of the ensembles I'm in is the Philadelphia Youth Orchestra, and for the most part this year we were online, but now we're sort of hybrid, as in like some weeks we're online and we do like how I explain we do small sectional rehearsals where since I'm a principal, I lead sectional rehearsals where I would, and we'd also do like lecture series with our conductor, Maestro Scaglione. He would like talk about the composers and the pieces, and we sort of
Is that new? Is the lecture series something new that they adapted
it's
with more virtual rehearsals?
yeah, that's a new thing, and because since we can't really when we're just online through Zoom, we can't really play all together. We sometimes just talk about the pieces. We like listen to pieces with the scores, and we talk about like the composer, the history of the piece, the time period. We'd also do like mini like history and theory lessons also too, which are really fun, and I've learned a lot this year, so
That's
it's pretty
great.
exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So what did you think of getting that additional, it's more than what you had before in some ways, although you would probably like to play more, but to work and get those teachings. What did you think of that?
oh, I like it a lot because while I like to do research ahead of time of the piece, with the pieces I'm learning, I just think it's really interesting that we get to all together as like a group, get to learn together about the pieces, the composers, and also we get to learn it all like in great depth also, which is really
Mhm.
a wonderful opportunity and experience. And also, whenever I go in person to PYO, how would I explain? We play in person every few weeks. So
Okay.
whenever we get to play together, it feels just so good because first of all, we're playing. It's been so long since I've been able to play with other people, so it just feels really good playing as a group again. And also, since we all have like the same, how would I explain it? Since we all have like the same background knowledge of the piece and the same,
Okay.
we're all together as a group more historically informed. So also, I think we as a group, I think we can agree more on interpretation of the piece, and in a way, it sort of helps our ensemble also because we're all on the same page. So it's actually really awesome.
Nicolette, that's an excellent point, and I think that's really amazing to have that kind of insight to the difference. Myself as a musician going rehearsals, I know so often that rehearsal time is focused on the music itself, and there's only like little minutes here and there that maybe the conductor can share more, tell you their interpretation. So
Mhm.
that's a great point. And so I look at, yeah, if when you're ready to do those performances, I'd love to hear that. I think, and especially like you said, that you have all are coming with kind of a common knowledge of that
Mhm.
background. That's wonderful. Okay, so I wanted to know if you've been on the viola since age 11, right?
Mhm.
And are there other instruments that you get to spend time with? Do you still do you still play your violin?
Well, yeah. Occasionally, I don't. I have like a small I have like a cheaper violin that I play on occasionally just for fun, and I also play. I don't play them like super seriously, but I play a little piano. I play also a little bit of mandolin for fun also. So I just like to experiment with other instruments. I used to play oboe, but I haven't played it in a couple years. I haven't played it in a while.
I wasn't expecting you to say
I like the
that.
oboe. I love the sound of the oboe, but it's hard. It's really hard.
Well, I tell you, there's joy in playing an instrument that's less popular. There's it adds to the love of it. So that you can be good when there's fewer of you. Well, if you were to be that young child starting on an instrument, how would you tell somebody to start with the viola? Like what kind of uh, what kind of tips or advice would you give a young child to say, pick the viola?
Well, I don't want to like force someone to play the viola, but if they're like, "Hey, I'm thinking about playing the viola," I'm gonna try to, I just think the viola is a very beautiful instrument. If you love, like that alto kind of quality instead of like soprano like a violin, if you like that kind of like lower quality, and you also just love the viola repertoire, I think I highly recommend the viola. And also, yeah, it's not quite as deep as a cello, but also it's a plus side. It's portable though. It's not quite as deep, but it's you can carry it with you very easily. So I think that's also a plus. And for staying encouraged, I'll just say it's a little bit of a cliche, but just I just want to say like just don't give up and just try to find things that try to remember like why you want to start the instrument and why you love the instrument and just love music in general and just try to keep those things in mind when you're struggling. And
Yeah.
I just want to tell them as a beginner student like people always struggle a lot. Like I struggle still, and it's just it's just what you do with that kind of time that really makes a difference. And trying to just be persistent and being determined to just get through hard spots and ruts and stuff during practice.
That's great advice. Excellent. Well, speaking of its nice tones that you enjoy, is there something that you could play that will be from your piece, the Hindemith? That's part of our virtual concert. Would you like to play maybe a favorite phrase?
Sure. Let me go get my viola real quickly.
Alrighty.
This is like a small section from the slower section of my concerto movement
Okay.
that I like a lot. It's in the middle, so. Sorry, it's a very short section, but I just think it's very pretty and it's
That is
very
pretty.
it's very folk-like. I think it reminds me of like a small folk song or lullaby. I think so. And I played their Schwanendreher for this competition, which is a viola concerto written by Hindemith, and it's based off a folk song. So whenever I hear this, I just think of very pretty lullabies or
That's,
just
yes, as if somebody's singing it to you, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Can you talk about that piece and how you chose to submit that in the competition?
Sure. I love the concerto a lot. And I like how once I mentioned sorry and I like how like it was built off of folk songs and German melodies. So I thought it was very unique because not there is music based off of this kind of folk songs, but there's not that many out there. So I thought that was very special about this concerto and about just him in general. I think it also is just I just sort of like the piece. I know it's very vague, but it's just fun to play. I like the third movement because it's just so happy and festive, and it also has like so many moods. It's very emotional. Like you have like the beginning, it's all happy and like, and then you have like all these fun run sections, like it's just really it's very festive and lively. But then you have like the middle section that I played earlier. That's just so like soothing and very sweet, and
Mhm.
it's really a very expressive piece and
Yeah, a
really
lot, a
beautiful
lot
to
of different
play.
emotions that you get a chance to express through your instrument.
Yeah.
Well, I think our audience is really going to enjoy it.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Well, Nicolette, can you, besides the viola, what are some other interests or hobbies that you spend your time on?
Um, I I'm gonna be honest. I mostly focus most of my life on music, so I don't do many other things extracurricular wise. I do. I knew before the pandemic. I used to do taekwondo, which I liked a lot, and I also really like nature and animals in general. So I love to take hikes. I love hiking. I love I have like a ton of pets, so I love playing with my pets. Also, I've got a dog, two guinea pigs, two hamsters, and a lot of fish. So I just have a lot of fun playing with my pets and animals, and
That's great. And are you in Delaware?
yeah.
Because you go to Cab Calloway, right?
Hmm.
So is there a favorite hiking place?
In Delaware or in general.
Just, well, sure, Delaware. And if not, you can tell me another place.
I like Ashland a lot, actually.
Yes, good choice. Yeah,
I just like the woods a lot, and also it's super close to my home, so it's super convenient. Also, so it's a very quick drive, so we go there often with my family.
that's great. Great. I enjoy that too. So that's wonderful.
Mhm.
And so how with your senior year, and you're probably, you're planning ahead what happens after high school. I would like you to think of, even past that, and so whatever may happen after your college, maybe 10 years from now, where do you see Nicolette?
10 years from now, I hope to be either like finishing my master's degree, or maybe if I get really lucky in a professional orchestra and teaching and also having a viola studio, because my greatest aspiration and dream is to, well, it has like, it's sort of like it's two aspirations actually. Is to become an orchestra musician and play in professional orchestra as a violist, and my other one is to be a viola teacher and have a viola studio because I just love teaching and I also really like kids. So
That's wonderful. Do you have current students today at your, do you have any of your own students?
not yet, but I occasionally give like helper lessons to students around Delaware for fun,
Mhm.
and I have two younger sisters that occasionally, if they need any help, I just help. Just give them little pieces of advice.
That's great. Well, I really hope that your family, all your fans will be attending our virtual concert this Sunday. That's at 3 o'clock, and you are one of the main stars. so, so I hope that you spread the word, and they all are viewing and cheering you on. And Nicolette, I want to congratulate you on your success, and I know for sure that we'll see more of you. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much.